If you enjoy Terrorblade, but don't know what to do after the laning phase, then Satanics decision making will help you understand when to fight, how to farm fast, and ultimately carry the game. Before we get into the game, let's talk about the mindset as a carry. In previous patches, carries could AFK farm for 30 minutes and then 1 versus 5 the entire team. This isn't the case anymore. There is simply too much gold on the map, allowing for other cores and supports to get items to stop you from solo carrying the game. Nightfall is a perfect example of this. He was known for his greedy playstyle of not joining fights and prioritizing his own game. But now, you can see him play more aggressive and join his team in place. He says it well in this interview.
What have you worked on or changed over the past couple of years? Because it feels like if you look back a couple of years to now, I feel like you're way more aggressive, and I also feel like you're way more of a team player than you were back in those days. What do you think has changed?
Either you gonna learn on your mistakes and become better and learn what you did wrong, or you gonna keep kind of sucking. So, and I think modern Dota is not really much about just flash farming and playing like Hector, but it's more like a team game. And I think carry has really have to kind of connect to a lot of moves, and it's kind of just your job.
Coming back to Terrorblade. Terrorblade is one of the rare carries that has high damage output early on, allowing him to take tasks quickly. The key ability that Satanic plays around is his metamorphosis. Whenever he has this available, he will try to get a kill with his team or take a tower. Getting towers opens up the map for the rest of your team and gives them more space to farm. Let's see how Satanic does this. He starts by being aggressive at just 8 minutes. But how does Satanic pull off this successful gank? He sees SF use his TP and he knows that he has nowhere to go except the top lane. In preparation, he takes the gate and sure enough, the SF shows very deep in the lane, thinking that he is safe. Satanic makes use of his meta to kill the SF and then takes the top tier 1. This one play gives Satanic the network lead over Mickey and also opens up the top lane for his Timber. It is important to note certain reasons as to why this gank worked. Number 1, it is nighttime, which makes it harder for the enemies to keep track of where the Radiant heroes are. Number 2, SF was very deep in the lane. If he was right in his tower, then it would be much harder to kill him. Number 3, another thing that you can keep track of is whether the mid laner has TP to the mid lane. This will prevent him from counter ganking and turning the fight. Keeping these things in mind will be the difference between making bad plays and wasting time versus securing a high value kill or objective. There will be some cases where there is no play on the map, and that's okay. You can use your meta to increase your farming speed instead of not using it at all. After making this play, Satanic's metamorphosis is on cooldown and it's daytime again. He uses this downtime to farm the lane and the jungle creeps. As soon as his meta is off CD again, he joins the smoke with his team to try and kill the Underlord. Ace does not get caught by this gank, but you can see how Satanic is always trying to play around his meta and create an advantage. This is the similar concept of when Satanic feels like he's strong. If he has his meta available, he looks to fight with his team or take an objective. And once this is done and his meta is on cooldown, is when he chooses to farm. He repeats this cycle over and over. And now that we're talking about farming, I'm sure that you carry players are drooling at the thought of getting more farm, and I won't tease you any longer. Number 1. If you feel like there are enemies in the lane, you can send your illusions to pull aggro to bring the creeps towards you, or stay in range for your innate and let the illusions get the CS. Number 2. You can pull waves into neutral camps with your conjure image, making it safer for you and increasing the gold that you get. Number 3. Certain camps will trigger spells if you farm with your hero and illusions. To avoid this, split your hero and illusions to nearby camps when available. Number 4. Satanic also makes sure to use his Manta when he is farming a camp that is near the center of the map. This lets his illusions farm the mid lane while he returns to the bottom lane, giving him 2 lanes of farm. The same concept applies when the lanes are being pushed into you. Remember to use your conjure image or Manta before TPing. This lets you get the next wave from the lane you just left, in addition to the lane that you are defending. Number 5. If you have vision of the enemy heroes, like your Toro does in this clip, you can farm more aggressively. He sees most of the enemy heroes, and hence feels safe taking the triangle, and then another wave further boosting his farm. Number 6. The plus 8 seconds conjure image duration at level 20 skyrockets your farm. At this point, a single illusion is able to clear a camp or a wave, and the extra duration allows your illusion to run to a different lane and farm that. You can also send your illusions through the gate and cut off waves that are coming. Now that I've sated your farming appetite, let's get back to Satanic. Ace overstays his welcome and ends up dying, and this snowballs into Satanic going mid and getting the mid tower as well. This is all within the first 18 minutes of the game. Satanic has taken 3 towers, killed the enemy safe lane and the off lane as the pos one. Now after the fight, he goes back to farming. But now before he joins his next fight, I want to introduce another important variable which determines when he wants to fight, which are item timings. As the game progresses to mid-game, items become significantly important and help determine when you want to fight. That's why, even though he has meta, he prioritizes finishing his butterfly before making the next play. As soon as he gets this, he smokes with his team and they pick off both supports, force glyph and then disengage. After resetting, Paravision take all outer tier 2s. After this, they try to go high ground, but get punished by an offensive force staff from Tofu and end up dying. To break the high ground, it's always safer to play for Roshan as an objective, and this is precisely what happens when Satanic respawns. Satanic then uses the next few minutes to farm his BKB for the high ground push, and he sieges the top tower with the banner. Dire are able to defend this, and instead of throwing again, Satanic backs off and waits for the next Roshan. When the next Rosh spawns, they win the fight near the pit and proceed to end the game. This game is the perfect example of being disciplined and outfarming the enemies while they're stuck in base, instead of forcing the high ground and potentially throwing the game. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. I'm currently trying out different ideas with how I make these videos, and your honest feedback is appreciated. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.